Hi, welcome back to Small Talk Queens, episode 22. I'm Megan.
I'm Kelly.
And again, in case you're new, get the kids and the elderly out of the room.
A lot of swears.
Unless they're cool elderly or your infants aren't able to speak yet. So either way. And we did not plan this.
We didn't plan it.
I opened the door when she got here and I immediately fucking laughed because we both had white on. And so it is, as I find it amusing that, and here I am like perseverating, like it's not Labor Day. I probably shouldn't be wearing it yet, but I think it's just pants.
You mean Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
And it is pants, but people wear white pants in the winter.
I mean, I wear the hell out of white all the time. I just bought 3 new white shirts.
I like white.
You know me, I have to buy multiple because
I like white, but it's hard to keep it. It's hard to keep it clean, especially
she has lipstick on hers.
Yeah, down here.
She
especially
showed
when my kids
shit on her shirt.
Especially when my kids were little. The boys, there's no reason to even own anything white when you have boys. They come over from the park.
I just spill. I mean, I had this on and I was outside fighting with the fucking planter again because the squirrels keep digging up the goddamn pansies. So then I'm out there in my white shirt, putting them the fuck back in again. I managed to not get any on me.
I was arts and crafting before.
In your white shirt?
In my white shirt.
Oh, it's a cool bracelet.
Thanks. Crafting. I have I think that's lipstick that's stained, but I did have black ink all over my hands. But I crafted in this shirt.
You got stain on your shirt.
I didn't wear
finger.
I didn't wear an apron, so.
And hopefully I don't have stain because I had a little issue with the lip liner. Lip liner's new to me, and so I had like Joker mouth, so I was like rubbing the corners.
You're never supposed to do the corners. I saw this video.
I'm also using my phone as a mirror. It's not. It doesn't work the same. I was too lazy to get up and go look in the fucking mirror because my walker's in the car, my cane was out here, so I just fucking sat there and looked.
Well, that's a lot. I have a lot of hostilities in my heart today. A lot of hostilities.
Something new.
A lot of hostilities.
Why do you have hostilities today?
So much so that Black Sabbath came on, and I blared it. I don't mind Black Sabbath, but
you're
it's
not a Black
usually
Sabbath kind of girl.
No, I'm not. And I blared it.
Do you want a muscle relaxer?
No, and
it might help.
And then Keith Richards came on with his song. I don't even know but he can't sing, and he sounds like.
And that would have made you probably more hostile?
No, I changed the channel, and then I got ACDC Money Talks.
There you go.
So I blared that. And then I found out, to add to my hostilities, because I like ACDC, that, what's his name from The Who? Pete Townsend said, this is a quote from the radio disc jockey, I sound really old, disc jockey, on satellite radio, that Pete Townsend said about ACDC. It doesn't matter how many albums they come out with. They could have 50, they could have 70. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. That's what Pete Townsend said. And the disc jockey got a little mad at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like ACDC.
I know. Shut up.
I saw ACDC in concert at the Wells Fargo Center with that imbecile I did it for a little while for practice before I met Joe.
Oh, thank God for Joe.
Yeah. I got a concert out of it.
That really made me mad. And I'm not a big Who fan. Don't hate me. I'm just not a big Who fan, and now I hate them even more.
Oh.
But there are a lot of hostilities.
Joe can't hear you.
There are a lot of hostilities in my heart.
Didn't we see The Who, Joe?
Yes. Yeah, I don't care who you saw. And then Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run, came on as I was pulling into your house.
I love Springsteen, but that's not my favorite song.
Rosalita's my favorite.
Thunder Road is 9.
If you had a theme song, you know how I don't even know if you watch it, but I do. Professional baseball.
Like a theme song to your life?
Well, yeah, but when the players walk out to the base to bat, there's always a theme. They have a theme song. They get to pick it, and they play
I don't think I've ever noticed
a few seconds of it. I don't know if you hear it on television as much as you do live. I like to go to the games, so they have theme music that they play.
What would your theme song?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you. Really,
I think Hell's Bells.
Yeah, it's ACDC.
It could be ACDC.
ACDC Black and Back. Back in Black. That used to be my phone ring.
Shook You All Night Long. Shook Me All Night Long. I like that one.
Back in
Maybe
Black.
some Metallica. Something loud you can like.
No, but is that the music to the background to your life? The background music to your life?
I don't. I mean, it depends on the day, I guess. If I were batting, that would be it. Depends on what I'm doing. Like when I used to exercise, I used to have like really heavy music and who is that Joe doesn't like? Marilyn Manson, like a couple of Marilyn Manson. Like heavy, like
Marilyn Manson scares me.
He scares me too, but I like the 2 songs that he does. The one that was the Eurythmics song that he redid, and Beautiful People. Beautiful people, beautiful people. Yeah. I mean, how could you not fucking run to that? You just
I like Eminem. If I had a song,
I like Eminem.
If I had a song that played when I came out for a sporting event or to start my workout, Mike, take a listen. I don't
think he's watching anymore.
I would want it to be "Lose Yourself" by Eminem. That really gets you pumped.
That's a good one. I had Eminem on the other day. Was putting makeup on.
But the makeup, the music the background music to my life would be, I think, ACDC, Back in Black.
I have to think about this.
There are a lot of reasons for that.
I mean, it would depend on the day.
No, there's a lot of reasons for.
I mean, because a lot of days I have Bob Dylan playing. I mean, that's like my go-to.
I also like Thunderstruck, but only the music, not the words, would be.
I mean, are we allowed to even put music on? We could tell what's her name to put it on in the background, but I think we get in trouble if we have music on.
Only for.
I don't think we have enough viewers to get us in trouble, but just in case. I mean, just in case.
You have to. I think it's only like 11 seconds. I don't know. We could look it up.
We're not gonna fuck with it.
Taylor Swift's new album comes out next week, and I want you to know that I did pre-order it. I'm not really a Swiftie.
I cannot name a single song of hers. I would not know if she came on right now. I probably would not even know it's her.
I enjoy her music.
I'm gonna have to like put it on and listen to it so I get an idea of like. I don't know if I like it or dislike it because I'm not like a pop music.
I don't like all the bubblegum stuff she started out with, but as she got older, the music matured and the words matured and I just like it.
Like I was never into Britney. I was never into Jessica Simpson. I was never into I was never into pop music ever.
Now,
so
if you're looking for a hot mess to watch,
Britney,
a train wreck
that you can't. Don't do it. It's a time suck and you can't look away.
A train wreck that you can't look away from. And I feel badly for her, so let's just get that out of the way. I'm not making fun of her. She's
mentally ill.
Yeah, I'm not making fun of her. She does need some professional help. But if you're looking for a train wreck, and obviously she wants you to watch this because she puts it on her IG page.
She's like stripping.
You should go to her Instagram page.
It's really something. She shows me.
The videos. She's always dancing, of course. She loves dancing. She cannot not dance. Like, it's interesting. But I mean...
But she's not even making money off of this, right?
I know. Just... She should get... Now I'm going to get a bunch of at-me's, but she should really just... At-me's. People are going to bitch and...
Oh.
People,
Christ.
She should just really pose for Playboy. She'd be better off.
She's too old.
Well...
I'm not saying that I think she's too old. I'm saying I think that like you have to be of a certain age. And
I don't know, but no, because they always have some old people. As long as they have like a lot of weight to their name, they'll put them in.
She's hardly old.
No, but my
I think she's too old for Playboy.
Is that if you're gonna do this in your home and look trashy, because you need to watch this train wreck.
I'm gonna start
so that you know what I'm talking about. Her hair is bad. Now she's had enough.
Her hair is a fucking
She's
wreck.
had enough makeup artists in her life to know better than this. She takes that black eyeliner and circles her eyes so it looks like she's been on she looks like she's a crack whore. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. I do feel badly for her, but you need to watch it.
You can't look away.
No, I bought her book and I haven't read it yet, but I have some friends that are very well educated that have read the book and they actually found it interesting. They liked it. They said it was an easy read. Now, obviously,
you don't say.
She had a ghostwriter.
Oh yeah, obviously she didn't fucking write the book. She's not even coherent to speak, let alone write a fucking book.
Well, anyhow, I've heard.
If she can write a book by herself, my asshole can write a book by itself. So there's that.
I've heard the book is really good. I did purchase it, but these days I've been purchasing a lot of books and I just can't get my mind focused on reading.
I can't read. I can't focus. I think it's the meds that I'm on.
I tried to start. Menopause.
I'm not there yet. Although my night hot flashes in the middle of the night where I wake up fucking soaking wet.
Did you use your pillow last night?
No, Joe left it in the car.
Oh.
And then we got in the bed because he offered to go get it when I realized that I forgot it, and I was getting in bed. I'm like, I could really use my pillow, and he offered to get dressed.
I bought her a special pillow that I also own and swear by.
We're bringing it in today. I have to wash the fucking
NASA,
case to put on it.
It has
the case,
NASA,
but you can't sleep in the case. You put the case on the pillow and put a pillowcase on the top of the case.
It's a case for the pillow.
But I need it for my whole body. Like I wake up and fucking soaked.
Well, then buy a king size pillow. I buy you the standard. Maybe the king size will work for your body. But my point being is that it's NASA engineered technology.
For my whole bed, I said.
Well, they do make sheets and they do make a mattress cover.
Well, I can't listen to you about sheets. You make those peach skin sheets. That's why I'm fucking sweating upstairs.
No, I don't sweat in mine.
I'm sweating. Joe sweats.
Well,
I go to bed, I'm freezing cold, and I wake up and I'm fucking like soaked in sweat.
That's maybe because you need to have like a fan or air or something.
Well, then I just throw off the sheets and then I get cool and I put the sheets back. It's all night long, back and forth. Anyway, but I tried to start a book last week. A friend of mine gave me a book with like a little care package of stuff. And I got some crossword puzzle books and Sudoku books, but all I can do is the word finds. It's all I can focus on. And I tried to start an Agatha Christie book last week. and I have to go back and reread the one about the Orient Express, Murder on the Orient Express, which I've seen the movie, but I wanted to read the book. So I grabbed it and thought this would be an easy read, and I have to go back and reread like the 3 pages I read because I can't. They're on a train. And that's as much as I got the fucking beginning of the book.
I can't get my head around it.
I can't focus right now.
And I don't know why. And I enjoy memoirs because I enjoy other people's hostilities.
I always wonder if it's true or not.
No, memoirs, if it's written by them, it usually is.
Well, you know, they fucking doctor shit.
A memoir to me is different than an autobiography.
Right, because they're leaving shit out or they're making it better or whatever.
And it's oftentimes the memoir may or may not have been written by the person, is my understanding.
Like Brittany, she didn't write hers.
Well, but it says her name on it. But the point of it is I can't even find one to get into. I can't.
Anybody have suggestions, throw them out. I can't.
The hostility in my heart is because at 9:45 this morning, I got a phone call from the school nurse.
My kid's sick. Fuck me. And now I have hostility in my heart.
Yeah, that was after, and I didn't play the message until 10.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. I didn't play the message until 10 because I didn't see it on my phone. But I saw his 25 texts. Mom, I'm sick. Mom, I have a sore throat. Mom, I have a fever. None of which he has. Now, he might have a sore throat and the nose is congested from the allergies. And my car is already covered in green, and I'm pissed about that. And Sean does have horrible seasonal allergies thanks to his father. That's where they come from. So, yeah.
Thank God I don't have
So he went back
allergies.
to class. The nurse told me. But she thinks it was just because he wanted to get out of something. And I think that might have been
Probably. I mean, he's no dummy.
Yeah. So that makes me hostile. The phone rings. He's a frequent flyer in the nurse's office.
Wasn't this like the sub nurse or some shit?
Well, no, that was the assistant nurse. But I talked to the real nurse when I got called back.
The real nurse.
They got to have 2 for whatever reason. I don't know. There's like a run on illness or something.
The other nurse is not a real nurse?
I don't know. I mean, she is, but she's the assistant nurse. She's a real nurse. She's licensed, but she's only there part-time. I guess I should have said part-time nurse.
A part-time nurse. Not to be confused with the real nurse.
I mean, it's been a real thrill this year. I have... Patrick went to the same school. Never.
Your child's on a streak
right
now.
He only went to the nurse ever once. And I said, "Is he really sick?" When she called
I used to go to sleep there when I would get high lunchtime. It's cool.
I said to the nurse, "Is he really sick?" And she said, "Yeah, he's not one of our frequent flyers." That's where I got that term. She's like, "I think he really is sick." And you know what? The poor kid was sick.
Please don't hit me.
I'm trying to get comfortable with these fucking chairs.
I mean, I said we could sit someplace else.
I'm just hostile.
Great. Now
angry. I'm really that angry 50-year-old woman.
Oh boy, go buy yourself some more makeup. Let me situate myself so that I can quit having your knee bash into mine.
The Arlo. I told you this. The Arlo.
No, you don't know what the fuck Arlo is? It's a fucking security camera.
Everybody knows what it is.
People don't know what the fuck Arlo is.
Okay, we have a home.
I wouldn't know what it was, so we got it.
We have a home security, and it really doesn't do much. I don't think we have it positioned where it needs to be positioned.
Probably because someone with their child put it up.
Well, it wasn't me, but it is positioned to the driveway so that they can. Or a certain someone could see the comings and goings of the vehicles only.
But now he's not allowed.
Now he's not allowed.
He lost that privilege.
He lost that privilege.
Again?
But the point of it is that my husband, not that he's spying, but gets a little kick out of himself because yesterday I'm standing there. I bought some new eyeshadow. Yeah, I know.
Some new eyeshadow. A whole bag full of new eyeshadow.
No, well, I only went for one thing and I came home with several.
Ladies, you know how that is.
But yeah.
That's why I order it, because I order what I need.
No,
instead of coming home with a bag full.
No. So
the best thing I ever did was stop going to the fucking mall. I go to the mall, and then I go to the Mac store, like Mac, and then the lady would be like, "Oh, let me do your eyes." Okay, I come up with like a whole new fucking line every week. So no more of that.
Anyhow, I'm looking at my new eyeshadow.
Are you wearing it?
Yeah. John goes.
This is last night. Is that new lipstick too?
No, I've had this lipstick for a long time. I just don't wear
it. I FaceTimed her last night like 9:30. I'm like, why are you wearing fucking lipstick?
It was my new lipstick.
I like last night's better than this one.
Okay, well, I thought I needed some pink.
That's pink?
Well, on my lips, it doesn't look pink. I've got a weird color lip.
Like a red.
This is really way too much for these people, but my lips are a different color. They're like, they're pink, obviously, or like purplish. But when I wear pink makeup, a makeup artist told me this, when I wear pink lipstick, it turns like brown or orange because of my lips.
I mean, it's pinkish. It's a pinkish red.
Okay, enough. So, but my point being, back to the Arlo.
The fuck out of me.
Back to the Arlo, is that my husband said, "Oh, how do you like all that new makeup you bought today?" I'm like, "What?"
It could have been hair products. He doesn't know what the fuck's in there.
I'm like, "What?" Well, I'm holding makeup.
Oh.
And I go, "Did you check the credit card bill?" He's like, "Well, I wanted to see if we got refunded, but I also saw you come in with the bag off the Arlo."
Joe and I have separate credit cards because we got married late in life, so you just have separate credit cards.
I used to have my own, but
bad.
because my husband's an accountant in public accounting, it's a thing called compliance, and it really makes me pissed. We can't bank with certain banks, so I can't have certain credit cards because we have to be compliant. You knew that. I can't have.
I know, I'm just trying to have conversation.
Oh, I can only have a Bank of America card.
Only.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have nothing to add to that.
Okay.
I have I have 2 Bank of America cards.
I have a WisFis card, but he doesn't know about it. It's linked to my separate independent bank account.
Well, it was a different bank, but WisFis bought it.
It was.
Anyway, nobody fucking cares. Okay, we're done. We're done talking about banking. Nobody cares about banking. We're not talking about banking. No more banking. No more banking.
Our population sample is about our age, so they are all into banking.
We're not talking. People are not listening to us talk about fucking banking. They don't want to hear about banking. Lipstick, maybe. Poop after fucking surgery, maybe. But not. We're not going to talk about banking. Banking is for assholes. We're not going to talk about banking.
I don't understand it. I don't understand banking.
Anyway.
I'm just still hostile.
I'm trying to come up with a good segue here.
I'm just hostile. And she still has this sitting over here.
I didn't take it back inside. Give me this. Don't put your lips on that. I'm going to use it. I'm going to fold it and put it in the
Why don't you keep it in your purse?
My vomit bag. I don't usually throw up in public. I don't need to carry a vomit bag around with me. I just toss it off to the side there.
I'm trying to think if I saw anything worthwhile this morning.
Okay, so funny story. So my husband Joe is of the religious nature and was brought up having gone to Catholic school, elementary school, high school, and then Villanova for college and grad school.
And Shazam, he married you.
And then we get together, and I'm like some kind of heathen. So the week of Easter, my first week home after surgery. First of all, we were watching movies that one of us had never seen before. So we watched Joe was at A Full Metal Jacket, which is fantastic. The first half. Don't know about the second half. And we may have discussed this last time. We watched Mary Poppins. He'd never seen that, which he enjoyed, and I sang along to. We watched Ollie. It was okay. I'd rather watch a documentary. And we watched The Hurricane with Denzel Washington. It was excellent. Anyway, so on top of all of that, we were looking for another movie, and I wanted to watch The Passion of the Christ, because I had never seen it. It's supposed to be good. So we watched it, and it was edited, which was also good because apparently it was even more violent than the one that I watched. So I had some questions. We watched it, whatever. It was, it was a good story.
That's not really necessarily a fun movie to sit down and...
It was not I had popcorn and a drink while I fucking watched it. It was, there was some tears involved there too. When I watched it. It was sad. It was fucking sad. So, but, it was good, historical, whatever. It helps me answer questions on Trivial Pursuit. So we fast forward.
God.
And, I guess it was Easter weekend we watched that. And then, so the 10 Commandments was on also. Always which I have never seen.
It's always on Channel 6 here.
I've never seen it. So we started watching it last week.
Yul Brynner's in it.
And then...
Who was hot back in the day. They say Yul Brynner was great. Hot.
Yul Brynner was in it?
He's the bald-headed guy, yeah. He was in Annie, too. Yul Brynner's in it.
Was he Ramsey's Joe? Yes. Okay. So we start watching the 10 Commandments. So we're watching
Joe,
it,
thank God
right?
For Joe.
So I identify, okay, Moses, and I said, so Moses is the one that split the rivers.
Get ready,
the
people.
Sea, right?
Get ready.
Yes, he parted the sea. So that right there was my one bit of knowledge that I had about Moses. He split some water. Okay.
The Red Sea. He parted the Red Sea.
He parted the Red Sea. So we're watching this, and there was a scene. Also, I'm on medication, and I'm half paying attention to it on my phone. Also, so I wasn't giving 100%. Anyway, so then there was some scene, and I was like, "Well, where's Jesus in all this? Is he dead already?"
Poor Joe.
To which Joe looked at me and was like, "He hasn't been born yet. This is before he could say." I'm like, "Oh, this is the Old Testament. This is the BC." Okay, so I've got this. Okay.
And then he slid away from you on the couch.
We were
Lightening.
Yes, we were sitting on separate chairs anyway because I can't have my spot on the couch on my back right now. I gotta lounge out on the other chair. So then I forget. So every once in a while we had to pause it so I could ask.
And Joe had to give you the history.
I had to ask questions. So, but I wanted to make sure I was understanding everything. Besides the very theatrical performance of the women that were in this, whatever 1950s when the fuck this was made. they used a bunch of fucking white women from Hollywood as
Mom
opposed
and Dad
to
right now,
anyone who looked like they were fucking Egyptian.
Mom and Dad are rolling over at home right now and yelling because you did not go to Sunday school.
I went to Sunday school, but I don't think they were talking necessarily about the crucifixion and the slavery of the Hebrews in Sunday school.
How do
I think
I
it
know
was
this?
more. I don't fucking know. I think it was more like feel good things, like
Be nice.
what is it? WWJD, like the little bracelets. You know, like what would Jesus do? Like the good stuff. They didn't have those when I was, but anyways, it was like a message and like okay, and so we got the message like do good, be good, the 10 Commandments, all that jazz. So speaking of the 10 Commandments, so the first thing is Moses gets sent off. He gets exiled, right?
Charlton Heston, I think, was Moses.
Yeah, so he gets exiled. So he goes and
I
he
think
meets.
they know the Bible story.
Can I tell my fucking story? So he gets exiled and he goes and he meets the girl who he ends up marrying. And he goes up to the mountain and then hears the voice of God. And I said, and he came back down. I said to Joe, I said, well, we're basing this faith on some stuff here. Like, who's to say he's not just fucking like
Hallucinating?
like hallucinating from the sun from the desert? And Joe looked at me. He's like, he's not. Okay. So we fast forward.
There is lightning that's going to strike this house.
So then I don't even know. There were some other questions throughout, and I forget what they were. But every time there's about to be a new scene, I'm like, is this where he parts the sea? Because it's like the only fucking thing I knew it was coming. So there was some other question. Now I cannot remember what the hell it was.
Did you have to go to pre-Cana before you got married?
We didn't talk about the Bible.
Oh my God.
Talked about
they should have.
They didn't. So we get to, I forget what other fucking question I asked, and then and I said to Joe, I said, look, I obviously wasn't paying attention to Sunday school, but I don't think we learned this.
No,
either.
you were at Campus Casino.
Not when I was fucking 6, for Christ's sake. My statement was Sunday school was a long fucking time ago. That's what I said. So then we're out in the kitchen, we're getting dinner ready, and he's just over there like shaking his head and kind of laughing to himself. And I know he's reflecting upon whatever I had said throughout the movie. And when Moses towards the end there, when he went up and God was saying the 10 Commandments and like they Shazam onto the stone, and I said he's got to haul those fuckers back down the mountain now. Like God couldn't put them on one stone, got to haul both the stones down. Like, how about front and back? So anyways, so we get to the kitchen. Joe's like I can tell he's thinking, he's kind of amused himself, and he's like, this Sunday school you went to, like your parents didn't have to pay for this, right? I'm like, oh no.
I mean,
no.
he's right.
And
Thank God.
he goes, it shows.
This is where Mom and Dad are going to be like, if you had sat your ass in the Sunday school.
I mean, I'm 47 years old. It was a long time ago. Like 40 years, I'm not going to retain that information.
And if for no other reason than historical purposes.
Well, I said to Joe, it's too bad that the Bible isn't written with without like all the vowel note and whatever, all the words you can't fucking say.
You can get one that doesn't.
So you can read it and like actually understand what's happening instead
one.
of like thou this and thou that and all the words you can't really comprehend because it's a bunch of words that don't make sense trying to read it.
Now we've offended like half the
Oh,
audience.
for the love of fucking Christ.
Now we've got lawnmowers here. Right outside the door. Outside the door.
I can't. You have to just try to ignore the leaf blower and the lawnmower and the
weed whacker.
They usually come in the mornings, of course.
The weed whacker.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to rain the next 3 days. Our sump pump is still running from last week's rain, and now it's going to rain. If it gets loud, we're going to have to fucking relocate.
I had a lake in my backyard. I swear to God, the geese were going to come, fly in, and stay, which happened once before.
Did you have a beaver?
No, I did not have a beaver. And the groundhog, which really looks like a beaver, but like land
They must
version.
be very closely related to each other.
Well, yeah, they're fucking rodents. But at any rate, I have like a roly-poly groundhog. And
Was he out there swimming in the lake?
No. I did see some bunnies though. Not
in
swimming in the lake. No, just running around my
I don't
backyard.
think they swim well. So that was
the eclipse. We haven't talked about.
Fuck it.
That continues to make me hostile too.
I can't even. It was beautiful yesterday.
Yes,
like it is
beautiful.
Like it is today.
Oh, no, today has clouds.
It was beautiful. I get over to her house because she's got the spare pair of glasses, and it fucking clouded up.
Right over it.
Yeah. So then here's me, because Joe and I are sharing glasses. I want a sunglasses. I'm like peeking out, like hoping I'm not gonna like fucking burn my retinas, like trying to like I just fingerprint my glasses. But I was like peeking, like to try to get, and then I took a picture and fucking messed my glasses.
And then you know what? Like an hour after it was over,
it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Sky got sunny again. No clouds. That was just a big FU.
It was cool though. What's
cool.
not cool is this fucking lawnmower I have to fucking talk over. I can't. Anytime I come out here, it just chaps my ass.
I know.
And this is going to be, people, I'm sorry, this is the next 6 months of this, by the way. That every fucking time we do, doesn't matter what day we do this, there will be a lawn care professional. See, now we got 2 of them. You hear that?
It's the same at my house.
Maddening.
It's the same at my house because nobody's on the same schedule. So they do one lawn, and the other landscaper for the other house comes the next day. Like, it's just.
I'm sorry that you have to fucking listen to this. I'm sorry I have to listen to it, but you have to listen to it too.
So I learned yesterday. See my thumbnail. That from this little old lady in Dallas, she was on the news. That as the moon is approaching the sun, and you get like the semicircle of the sun. You know, so it looks like a crescent.
Oh, I'm sorry. You already told me. You're telling them. I'm not listening.
So it's called a thumbnail. It's called a thumbnail moon for whatever reason.
Is this when you're supposed to shake the change?
Yeah, you're supposed to put when there's a thumbnail moon during an eclipse. Again, it makes the sun look like a crescent moon and so forth and so on. You're supposed to take extra change, spare change, put it in your hand and shake it. And then you're supposed to...
I dumped my wallet right under my hands.
And then you're supposed to be...
First I was doing it in one hand, and I just put it in both and shook them, but I wasn't sure which hand to use.
Then you're supposed to be flush with money for the year. I don't really...
Well, I would go buy a lottery ticket later and see if I'm flush with money.
That's just what this little old lady said.
Well, I mean, she's old. She's been through a couple eclipses. I mean,
she was from Dallas. They had the news in Dallas. She might have been drunk for all I know.
I'd like to be drunk. I'm on a 3-week streak, by the way. On a 3-week dry streak right now.
You need to get your back together.
3 weeks, I almost said strike. Streak, whatever. My PT last week was trying to come up with a clever little thing. He's like, if it were still March, we could call it Parched March.
That's a good one.
Because he's the one that came up with he and I believe that he came up with damn January. But
I've seen that other places.
But then, you didn't know it until I told you, and then you saw it, and then you knew. He had not heard it before, and he thought he came up with it. Anyway, so then I'm trying to come up with something that rhymes with April, and we can't come up with it. So I'm thinking, all I can think is like stable April. Like, it kind of rhymes, but not really.
It does a little bit. If anybody has anything that rhymes with April, let us know.
Stable April, unstable
Get
April.
thinking on
stable April. So my goal right now. Wait. So last week after we watched Ali, I wanted to watch. We were going to put up. We were going to bring up on YouTube and watch like the real fights, like his fight with George Foreman and like the real fights.
Sting like a bee.
Yeah.
Float like a butterfly.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Anyway, and the movie, I was not impressed with Ali. I thought it would be better than it was. I was a little disappointed.
Who was it?
Will Smith. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't what I expected. I think I would have preferred a documentary in this case. So I wanted to see the actual fights, and we're fixing to put one on. I'm like, fuck it. We cannot watch a boxing match. I need to have a fucking beer. So we had to table the boxing match until I can't watch a sporting event like that and not have an alcoholic beverage. So, fucker. So we have to wait.
Problem.
Well, probably is a problem. It's called probably I want a fucking beer.
That's
So
a problem.
So the goal, I'm gonna try to give it. I did 2.5 months last year. I'm gonna try to go until May 13th as my follow up with the surgeon. And it's a Monday, and I'm gonna, I think, try to go until that date.
It's a bunch of empty calories. You shouldn't do it.
I'm already down 5 pounds since the surgery.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's even having dessert items most nights because our friends have brought us some very good food and there's some very good dessert items, and there's birthday and Easter candy and other stuff. So anyway, but yeah. So I'm trying, and it sucks. And as my PT said to me last week, PT Joe, I was like, I'm fucking hostile because I really want to have a drink. And he's like, well, then just stop taking your meds and have a drink. And I just gave him a look. He's like, yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I'm not going to stop taking them because I need them.
They're right there.
I can't. It's not our lawn, people. It's the fucking lawn
right
across the street.
There.
And they are just on top of us.
This is what happens when you own a corner property.
And every single house around us is on a different schedule.
Yeah, it's really, they can't all get on the same schedule. They should, as a township, go, okay, Tuesdays is lawn mowing day. Or not Tuesdays, but like on Monday or something.
Yeah, our lawn people are coming for our spring cleanup on Friday if it doesn't rain.
They can do everybody. They do the trash. They can, I mean, not that the township's mowing, but.
Well, it's probably also why, like, they're not here during the mornings because 2 mornings a week we have trash pickup and recycling pickup, so they're probably not. They don't want to have their trucks out here interfering with the fucking. Anyway, I can't. What else can we talk about? I mean, I have a lot going on right now, people. I've got my recoup going on, and
Patrick started his official career job.
It's a bunch of HR. Please don't talk about the HR.
I know, but just the first week he didn't like it. Everybody knows what it's like.
When you start a new job, I try to tell him that any job
like
he ever has
job.
in his
like
whole
this
life
is he graduated. This
will
is
have
his
training,
job.
and it's gonna suck his asshole, but he's gonna have it. Any job.
Yeah, I'm not defending him because it did get on my nerves, but at the same time, like you do. It's like when I had to take classes at Penn State. Like I didn't want to take bi-sci. Like get me into to the teaching classes.
But I just wanted him to understand that when he leaves this job and goes to the next job and the job after that, the job after that, the job after that, there's always going to be training. Whether you need it or not, you're going to have it. It's just how it goes.
And as John pointed out, when you're older, you're going to love sitting in a training room getting paid to just sit there.
Fuck yeah. I told him, I said, Patrick, you're getting paid. Just fucking sit there.
He doesn't understand that.
You're getting a paycheck. He's eager. See, it's his first job. He's fucking eager. After that, you're not fucking eager anymore. You just want to get a paycheck.
In a month, he's not going to be eager.
Then you're fucking looking forward to it. You sit there with your crossword. Sit there, do a crossword, listen to the fucking HR. Yeah, okay. I mean, fuck that. I mean, that's great. Give me 2 weeks of fucking HR training or whatever bullshit. I'll sit here and knock out a couple of chapters in my book and my fucking Sudoku and whatever
Well, that's the problem. People don't pay attention in their trainings, and, then we all pay for it. Oh, there's a big bee.
It's a big bee that makes a loud noise.
It's all the things over
It's
here
all
today.
the things. I mean, it's like, I can't.
Just a lot.
I can't. You're gonna have to fucking get off my leg.
I know, but...
Okay. I mean, I can only move but so much here, so my legs are...
I'm gonna sit on you.
Okay, let's pick a card. Let's do the fucking delve deck.
I don't like the name of it. We need to rename it.
Dive deck? Delve deck. We're gonna delve into it. We're gonna dive into it. You want to pick or you want me to pick? Oh, God. Ouch.
I have some things to talk about. Like,
Oh.
the WWE was here in Philadelphia the other day.
No, you're not picking from the fucking middle. You pick from the front. I will pick the card.
They're mine.
I will pick the card from the front. So we go in order and we do not shake the table.
The WWE was in town in Philadelphia over the weekend. I guess it's like a 2-day, 3-day event. Holy shit.
It was WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania was here.
I can't even.
And Jason Kelsey was there.
And Lane Johnson.
Living his best life.
But only for like a scene or a skit.
Well,
they weren't
still.
there. And then The
He
Rock
posed
was
with
there.
The Rock, yes.
Oh my God, I love John Cena.
You can't see me. Is it this way? Fuck, I always get it wrong. I do it every time he comes. Every time he's on television, I do this to Joe.
I love John
That's all I know.
Cena.
I just do this, right? Yeah, it's this way.
Here's a trivial pursuit. It's not really, but here's some trivia. The Rock was born and lived in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
We have a lot of famous peeps from around here.
Maybe he wasn't born there,
What's
but
her
he
name?
lived in
Pink
Allentown.
is from around here.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is from around here.
Yeah.
We got what's his name?
The Kelseys.
Oh Christ.
Well, he lives here,
No.
but
Bradley Cooper.
There are a couple other people. One of the ladies from The Office, the reddish hair lady from The Office, she went
around here.
She got her cakes from the bakery house. They have pictures of her.
The lady, the heavyset black woman. What's her name? That won the award for best actress, best supporting actress, best actress from The Holdovers. Christ.
What is her
Divine?
name? Yeah,
Joy?
Divine.
Something?
Yeah. Oh, and the woman that stars and writes and maybe directs
Abbott
it.
Elementary.
Abbott Elementary.
I'm gonna have to start watching it. I mean, the few pieces I've
so
seen are
funny.
funny. But you know what? My friends and I, we could.
You lived it.
We lived it. We could.
Oh, tell some of those stories.
No, I don't have it in me. Well, one of my old coworkers, and I don't mean old like she's old. I just meant like we used to work together.
Former.
She messaged me the other day, and we were going back and forth a little bit. And I said, "We're really gonna have to get together." And she said, "Well, I still have my." What she said to me, I'm falling apart a little bit, but I still got my sense of humor. I'm like, you're talking to a 47-year-old using a fucking walker to get around. Like, I mean, who's not fucking falling apart right now? We're good.
We're good. Back surgery.
So, yeah. Well, Sean asked me the other day, did we ever have lockdowns or whatever they're called?
They have lockdown drills, of course.
And I said yes. And he said, what for? I said, well, for shootings or strangers in the building weren't supposed to be there. He goes, for real? I'm like, yeah. I'm walking around fucking bent over in the fucking classroom with my shoes off, so there's no clickety-clack for my shoes.
Right.
Handing out a handful of Cheerios or animal crackers while the kids have their heads down, sitting on the desk or whatever, so we don't get stray bullets through the windows.
Well, but thank God he's only had practices. But for him, it's kind of like, why are we having a practice? When you come in with, yeah, we really had these, he's probably like, what?
Yeah. We were on the second floor though, so I was somewhat confident that we were not going to get a stray bullet like through the window. Plus they had those cages over the windows.
You couldn't even open
so
your
you
windows.
really have to fucking try hard to like get it through the cage screen over top of the window. But still, I mean, we had to sit quietly, and every once in a while there was like an intruder in the building or something.
Did you tell that story about when you first moved here? You got to tell that story about Robin. It's a good story.
So
this is great. Here comes naive Megan, fresh out of college, Penn State. I don't even think you were fresh out. Was this your internship?
I did my internship, but then they hired me. I was an educational advisor for
pregnant and parenting
teen program. It lasted a year, and I had to fucking leave that. That's a whole other story.
That's a good story too.
So, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I mean, I was parking the car one day, and I opened the car door, and the car next to me in the parking lot was like had like bullet holes like all through the side of it. And I knew what they were. I mean, I was naive, but I opened the door and looked at it. I was like, oh.
That's back in the day when you still put the
fucking thing on.
What's it called?
The club.
The club
on the steering wheel, and I mean, like, hope for the best. And then walk the fucking block, to where I was going. So,
during the day, your neighborhood is pretty safe.
So that was, okay.
Your coworker.
Yes, there's so many stories. I'm kind of like, where to go with this? Okay, so my one coworker comes into work the one day, and so she was telling us how she went to the hospital the night before because she was driving, and there was a shooting, and the bullet came through her window. And she felt something, so she took herself to the emergency room, went and screaming she was shot, because she knew she'd been hit somewhere. Well, here the bullet came through, it landed in the hood of her coat, but she felt it, so she knew that like she felt something, and luckily she was all right.
Was her window down, or did it bust the window?
It came through the window, it came through the glass of the window. So, and that was an interesting job.
That was like only a couple weeks into your internship. That story.
There was a lot of fascinating things that happened, a lot of which I can't talk about. But
it's always a learning experience. So there were good things.
There were some good things. The leaving of the job was a good thing. That was not a job for me. That was not a job.
No, it's like knocking your head against the door.
I mean, there was the day. There were a few good one-liners, like the day that. So I did interview the girls. The girls were pregnant, and I was like a liaison between them.
These were high school girls, anywhere from the ages 12 to what, 18?
High school students. Yeah. And I brain farted. Where was I going with this?
The one-liner.
Oh, so I like fill out questionnaires. I'm like, okay, so what is the baby daddy? What does he do? And the girl said to me, he's a street pharmacist. Here's me and my fucking naive self. What's that word? Nativity? I can't say it. Naivete. Thank you. There you go. My naive self. And I'm like, what's a street pharmacist? And then my coworker looked at me. Oh, okay. And then okay. And if you don't know what street pharmacist is, the drug dealer. So there you go. Because if you don't know, you don't know. I mean, the people watching, so what's a street pharmacist? Okay.
They're not selling you Tylenol.
And then I had to leave that job, and then I started teaching.
But I liked Vicky. Vicky was your boss.
She was fun. I liked the people I worked with, but I didn't.
She was this tiny little lady that wore like 7-inch heels and stomped through the hallway.
Well, so during the summer, what we did with this program,
there's no air conditioning in the schools.
We went to visit the one summer. It was all blind students.
You went to Overbrook School for the Blind.
But there were other ones. So like basically special needs students in some capacity. There were also pregnant and parenting teens. Because I remember my one coworker was like, I can't even say it, because people would be like, I can't believe she just said this. It's fucking funny though.
I know, there are so many things.
We went and she's like, she's like, what the fuck? She's like, she can't see the fucking anything in front of her, but she can see the fucking dick. I was like, oh my God.
We're not being rude. Anyway, it's whatever. First of all, we didn't say it or think it.
If somebody else said it, I'm just repeating it. It was fucking funny though.
Didn't you tell me, maybe it was somebody else, I think it was somebody else, that the pregnant parenting teen thing was federally funded. It was a federally funded program.
It doesn't matter.
It does, because I want people to know that it wasn't like the city or the school district's own money.
I don't know.
But these girls would come in, my friend told me, and some of them would get pregnant again, like rather quickly, and say, because the welfare check was bigger.
They get more money. I did hear that.
But they don't understand that, like, they're
15 and 16 years old or 14 years old. They don't fucking understand it.
You get more money, but you got more diapers.
Well, the one girl used the check she bought her daughter this cute little Gucci leather outfit for Easter. It was peach.
I mean, you can't blame...
A whole check.
Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, you can't blame them. Everybody wants to have nice things, and I guess you can use the money on anything? I don't know.
I bought an Easter outfit for her child that she wore once.
Well, we all...
I then had that child when I was teaching school later on. I had that baby that wore that Gucci Easter outfit. I had her in kindergarten.
Did you tell her?
A few years later. About her $300... No, I did not talk to her about her $300 Gucci outfit. No. I didn't talk. When the mother came in, I was like, when we chatted and...
You've got to tell the story about the roller. I always tell people about that. One of her first parent-teacher conferences.
It wasn't a conference. It was in the middle of fucking class.
I thought it was a conference. I embellished it then.
No, you did. When he got chased?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to tell it.
Okay. And then
again, she has no parts of it.
No, no parts of it. I kind of did. I gave him the ruler. Anyway, so this kid,
what grade?
First grade. And I remember the day I had on a pair of like the Dr. Scholl's like wooden like clankety clank. I love these shoes, like clickety clap, like they made a lot of noise. Whatever, like Dr. Scholl's, whatever, it would kill me now if I tried to wear them. Anyway, I had those on, and I had like a dress or a skirt on, and I'm up at the front, and I'm facing the board, writing something on the whiteboard or whatever, and when I turned around, I fucking clocked this kid in the forehead with my fucking Dr. Scholl's wooden shoe, because he was laying on the floor looking at my fucking dress. I mean, I'm horrified. I'm like, oh my God, right? So later on, I think it was after lunch, another teacher or one of the lunch leaders, someone said something to me because he had a mark on his forehead. And someone came up to me and was like, Miss Spicer, he said you kicked him in the head. I'm like, fucked. Okay, I kicked him in the fucking head, but let me tell you how it happened. I mean, I purposely kicked him in the fucking head. And then I wanted to kick him in the fucking head. So then I went to him and I was like, you go home and you tell your father why you have this mark on your forehead. And you fucking tell him. I didn't say fucking. You tell him how you got it. You tell him how you got it. Next day, Dad comes in. Dad was no nonsense. Miss Spicer, I want to talk to you. This kid, we'll call him Dave. His name was not Dave. Dave said, you kicked him in the head. And I looked at Dave. I'm like, Dave, what? You tell him why and how I kicked you in the head. So he's like hiding behind me at this point. And I said, well, Dave's dad, yes, by accident, when I turned around and he was laying on the floor looking up my dress, I clocked him in the head with my shoe. Okay. So he shakes his head. He's like, okay. He's like, I'll deal with you when we get home. Whatever. He's like, Miss Butch, you got a ruler by chance? Yardstick or anything? I'm like, I'm trying to get, this is in the classroom. It's in the class in the morning. He came up with us, I'm in the classroom. I gotta get on with class. Comes up. I'm like, yeah, there's a whole bunch over there at the math center.
The math center.
He goes, gets himself a fucking ruler. He's chasing the kid around there. Chasing Dave around the room trying to hit him with the fucking ruler. I let him. I mean, look, this is the kind of shit, this is the difference between different school districts and whatnot. And look, I'm not interfering with that.
That's an urban school district.
Dave got it.
You're a first reporter or whatever
We had parents in the schoolyard take off their belt and give their kids one. Look, I got the belt. It's fine. No, they weren't getting like a beating. It was just like a swat here and there. You do what you want to do.
Didn't you have the one teacher say you can go ahead and take a hold of him?
A parent. I have several parents. Well, he asked them, just go ahead and take a hold of him. Oh, yeah, so I can lose my job. You can see me on the fucking news. No, I'm not going to take a hold of him. Although, I mean, there was an occasion where you had to, like, grab a hoodie or something. I mean, when the one kid ripped my fucking shirt open.
Oh, I don't think I know that
on his
story.
First day.
Oh.
He had a lot of emotional problems. No one told me about it. He just showed up one day and he's coloring a picture. I'm trying to explain to him it's time to go to music class. We got to go, and he's still coloring. And I was like, okay, come on, let's go. And the kids are all lined up to go. This is kindergarten, and he wouldn't move. So I went and I took the crayons, and then he lost his fucking mind and flipped the tables and the chairs and threw shit at me and came at me. And he had a V-neck shirt on. He grabbed that fucking V-neck. Thank God I had like an old lady fucking beige bra on that day. Because didn't he just rip the fucking shirt? Just ripped it. There's my beige bra, kindergartners. They don't care. The best part of that story, though, was that the boys, this is kindergarten, the boys that were in line stepped forward to come to like fucking help me.
Oh, good.
And here I am fighting off this kid. I'm like, you get back in line. You get yourself back in line. You're not getting involved. And they just stood there for a minute, and I pointed, and they went and got back in line. But it was nice that they were trying to come to the rescue. And then I found out this kid was expelled from two other fucking kindergarten schools, for kindergarten before he came to me, and here he is tossing fucking tables on his first day.
Did he stay the rest of the year?
I had him, and he had to repeat kindergarten because he was too busy getting kicked out of his first two schools. We had a love-hate relationship. He loved me. He hugged me. When he wanted his way, he needed to have his way. And then I got him again in second grade because God loves me. And he had to have, at that point he had a behavioral health worker.
Oh, that's good.
But he had to have lunch with me every day because he couldn't go. The behavioral health worker had lunch, so he couldn't go to lunch with him. And every time this kid went to lunch and recess, there was an altercation. So he got to come up and have. If he had a good morning, then after he ate his lunch up in the classroom with me, then he could do whatever. He could play computer games, and we had like educational computer games. He could do whatever he wanted. He could do a puzzle. He could do whatever he wanted. So and then I would try to the kids didn't always get a lot of recess because the lunch ladies didn't want to take them out to recess, and
it's a blacktop.
So it's a blacktop. Well, no, with Drexel, I think it was donated like one of those like green turf, whatever things, and put a jungle gym thing on it, which was fun, except for like on the weekends, the fucking neighborhood people would destroy it. So that was nice. Cut the fucking swings off. I don't even know. So it was constantly needing repaired, but. On nice days, I would take them back out because, kindergarten, second grade, they need to have recess. But it was not something we were supposed to encourage, like, that kind of thing, because it was all about math and science and social studies and
we
reading.
Laugh. Now, you taught, I did not teach in the school district, but I want our friends...
You have to speak up like a fucking hero.
I know, but I want our friends to understand that when we laugh, we're not laughing at the students or the situation. An urban school district is way, way, way different.
It's 100% different
than a suburban or even a rural. And if you've not been in an urban school, you just don't know. I mean, it is amazing what you hear and see.
When I listen to teachers and
and sometimes the
nice suburban neighborhoods bitching because the school district didn't give them, a nice fresh supply of crayons 2 months into the school year. Fuck that. I spent $3,000 of my own money my first year of teaching because we didn't have a library in our school and working.
They closed the library.
They didn't have a librarian, and you would try to go to the library and find something, and it was it was a fucking mess. $3,000. Paper, pencils, crayons, supplies, books to have a working supplies in my classroom. I had to buy all the things. And I left all those things when I left teaching. I just left them because my whore of a fucking principal gave me 1 hour, I think it was, to come and retrieve my things.
It's best. They would have been infiltrated with
It's fine. And at that point, I think most of it had been very well pilfered. And then I got in touch with my teacher friends and said, you go into my classroom and you take what you want before I let this whore know that I'm donating the rest. So they went and took what they wanted, and then the rest was a donation.
I mean, for several years, how many years? My mom's club,
14,
my
13.
Mom's club donated at Christmas time. We'd give, I don't even know if we did backpacks, but we would get school supplies for all of the kids.
I'm trying to do the math. I have to go back.
It was at least 10 years. We would get
more than
and you had like 35 kids in your class, but we would put bags together.
It was not 35. I think 28 was the most.
The crayons, paper, just the
28 kids with myself. We didn't have assistants. We didn't have classroom helpers. We didn't have any of that jazz.
Just the stuff that you'd think like, oh, you're in kindergarten or you're first grade. Oh, here's what you're going to do for homework tonight. It's one ditto or sheet or whatever you want to call it. And there are 6 pictures on it. Color all the things that start with B, blue. Kids don't even have crayons at home to do that. They come home and they're like,
we had to give them
I don't have crayons to do this.
I had to give them the thing. So, and it's fine. It was money well spent, and hopefully,
you enjoyed your job.
I loved my job. I can't get into this again. I loved my job until that whore principal made it unlovable, and then and then I couldn't love it anymore. So,
are there any other funny stories? Like you had the one about the bullet flying through.
Yes, because, and I do not mean this to be offensive because Joe couldn't believe I said this. So while we're watching Ali, was his name Joe? Don King. So the guy playing Don King, right? So this one day, I had this little girl. I had her for kindergarten. I had her again for in second grade, and her mother would send her to school in the mornings in kindergarten, and her hair was perfect, and little things. She had the bollies, and she'd sit there on the carpet. We're having and she'd shake her head. The bollies would just clickety clack, 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 clack. I'm like, you have to hold your head still, right? She'd come the fuck back after lunch. And her hair was wild. I mean, it was all out. I don't know what the fuck happened at lunch and recess. So this one day,
took them out?
Right? It was out, right? And her hair was right? So this one day, I'm outside, right? And the mom.
Well, she's in second grade.
This was kindergarten.
Oh, kindergarten. What's even?
The mom comes. Usually the mom didn't come. The first day of school, this little girl went home with somebody else. She said, "This is my sister," and so she went home. And then the mom's calling, where's so and so? And I'm like. She went home. Who'd she go home with? Her sister. She didn't have a sister. The fuck? She told me it was her sister. Fucking no. Oh, that's her play sister. What the fuck is a fucking play sister? It's her neighbor. It's her play sister. Okay. So they figured out where she was. Anyway, so the mom and I had a really good rapport. I had to talk to the mom often about this child because she had to jump up out of her chair and dance and sing Beyonce across the room. Yeah, I mean she was. Yeah. Anyway. So we're out in the schoolyard and her mom comes and she's like, "What?" We'll call her Jackie. Jackie, what did you do to your hair? And she looks at me. Mom looks at me. I'm like, look, you sent her to school looking like a princess, and now you get her back. She's looking like Don King. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what to tell you. It's like,
what did the mother say?
She laughed. She doesn't know what happened. But she was like, I can't believe you said. Oh, fucker. Oops, sorry. Knocked the water bottle over. But literally, her hair just stood. I mean, she looked like Don King. It just stood straight up out of her head. Like she took all the little things out and literally just stood it up. I mean, I don't even know how it happened. I still don't know how it happened.
Didn't you have the little girls that liked to play with your hair because it was straight and soft?
Well, it was, for some of these kids, they had never encountered a white person before. So, I mean, I'd sit there and they would like, in kindergarten, you know, not so much in second grade by then, but for some of these kids, they had never encountered one before. So, I mean, they would rub on my legs like to see if they felt, you know, like what they felt like, or they would touch my hair to see if it felt different or whatever. And
because it's straight and soft. There's no, you know.
But they would, and then they would tell, and then as a school year, Miss Bites, you guys shave your legs. Get the fuck off my legs. How about that? You get off my legs. So,
didn't they like to pet your tattoo?
I have a ladybug tattoo, yes, and whoever said, there's always someone petting my ladybug. I'm like, you gotta get off me. Get off my foot. Get off my foot.
That's kindergartners, though.
Those were kindergartners, yeah. By second grade, they weren't doing that anymore. And the thing is, my whore principal had put me into second grade as a punishment, and it was the best year. It was one of my favorite year and a half of teaching.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
And every fucking chance I got, I told her how it was the best thing she ever did was to put me in second grade. I loved it, and then because I had kids that I'd had already, so both the year and a half that I taught second grade, I'd had kids.
You had parents go into the principal and say, "I want my kid to have Miss Spicer."
I did. I was not to like toot my own horn here, but I had parents that liked me. You were also
firm. You were firm, and that's what
I was firm and loving. I would be hugging the kid, and I was like, "You sit your ass down." I did not say that. You sit your butt down. I did have to stop saying Jesus Christ though when the phone rang, because I'd be like under my breath like Jesus Christ, and then one day I heard one of the kids go Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh my God, you can't say that. So anyway, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It was fun most days. I don't know. It was fun and sad all at the same time. I mean, it was. I loved it, and I don't know if I ever have the patience again to ever. I don't think I'll probably ever teach again. I could never teach in suburban schools. You would see me on the fucking news. I'd have some parent bitching at me some bullshit. You go fuck yourself. Get away from me. Fuck away from me. Oh, I remember I had one little girl. So I have blue eyes, but if I wear certain colors, like if I wear greens, they look more green.
Well, now your eyes look green today.
Probably because there's green around us. So we're at a parent-teacher conference, and this little girl, and she is just staring at me, like intently while I'm talking. So finally, I'm like, I got something in my teeth. Like, what is the problem? She's like, Miss Spicer, your eyes were blue yesterday. Today they're green. What's happening? It's like, because I whatever color on. I'm like, yeah, it depends on. And she was just mesmerized by the fact that happened. I mean, it is interesting. I never really noticed it. She pointed it out. So
you didn't know that?
I mean, no. There was a day that there was a shooting out in recess, and I just sat down to have a pee during lunch. It was incidentally the last day that I ever wore shoes with a heel to work. Lesson learned, right? I had a nice pair of like trouser pants, right? Like nice slacks, nice trousers, nice blouse.
You sound like grandma.
Got some fucking slacks shoes on with like a fucking heel on them, right? And I'm in to use the bathroom, and I heard what obviously was gunshots, and my kids are at fucking recess. So up go the trousers. I'm literally fastening them as I'm running out of the classroom to the schoolyard. What the fuck? And the kids are being herded into, So then I stopped myself going into the schoolyard because I could see that they're going. So I ran them back from the door, back around inside the building. I stayed inside the building because I had some sense. To the gymnasium, like where they were, or to the lunchroom where they were brought back in, which was also the gymnasium. And that was the last day that I wore shoes with a heel to work because, God damn it. I mean, I'm hauling through those slippery linoleum floors with heels on. Never again. And it's hard to run in them. And then I realized there's no need to wear heels to school and kindergarten. And
No need?
No need.
You have to be comfortable. I don't know why anybody's wearing heels anyhow.
Oh, no. And then the nice trousers just went to shit. I mean, it was shit. A kindergarten wiping their fucking shit all over me. Oh. And then, like, the girls, because they would...
well, you ate the dust from the floor.
The floor was gross. The floor was gross. But also, the girls, a lot of times, would have the, like grease in their hair or Vaseline in their hair or Vaseline on their forehead. And then so they would hug me, around the legs because they're small. or I'm sitting on the floor and they like lean up against my leg and I have like Vaseline stains on my fucking pants. So it was jeans then most of the time after that. And the classroom was like 3,000. It was either 3,000 degrees or you had to have like 5 coats on. There was like no in between.
I, of course, would rather have it be.
So I learned how to layer. So I would wear a tank top every day with a shirt, with a sweater. I mean, like during cold months. And then like I remember the principal would come in. I have a fucking tank top on, my bra strap's hanging out. I mean, the kids don't care. They're 5 and 6. And I have to apologize. Mr. Garris would come like, I gotta apologize.
There was
here.
not a dress code for teachers?
No. I mean, other than my bra straps hanging out, but like the kids didn't fucking care. They don't care about that kind of shit. It was 1,000 degrees in the classroom. It was awful.
Back to this doesn't have to do with teaching, but it has to do with the city and gunshots. So, we were in our old house, not that it matters, and Patrick was like 1 or 2. And he was down for a nap, the morning nap. And I'm on the phone. This is before cell phones, really. I mean, before the iPhone. It was like 2002. So anyhow, I'm on the phone, the house phone. And the phone keeps ringing and ringing. The landline. Ringing.
House phone.
It's John. And I'm like, I'm not answering it. Because I'm on the phone. I'm in an in-depth conversation on the phone with my friend. And I'm like, someone better be dying.
Oh, God.
So I hang up the phone and get his call. I'm like, someone better be dying. What do you want? He's like, my car was just shot at. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
Oh, I forgot about this.
He goes, it was.
Was it the Ultima?
Yeah. No, it was the Maxima.
The Maxima?
Yeah. I'm like, what? He's like, I had to take an alternative route. So he didn't go the Schuylkill. He went up Broad Street, went up Route 1 and then down Broad Street. And Broad Street goes through North Philly and part of Temple University. And he said he was on the phone, on his car phone, speaking, and all of a sudden he heard this loud crack, and the car kind of shook, like a thud. Then and it shook. He's like, I'm like, no, you aren't. You don't know. He's like, no.
Oh my God.
I was. And when he got to work and parked the car, he got out of the car and looked, and there was a bullet mark right under the passenger side back window.
Terrifying.
And he never got it fixed. He
wanted it to leave it there. Nice.
Yeah, just driving, just random. 10 in the morning.
Well, in that same area, so when Joe's aunt was in the hospital, at Temple Hospital, we went to see her. The one convenience store on the corner had a big sign, "We ship to prison." It's good. So you need to get your smokes and your condoms and what else you have to send.
You just know that you're not in Kansas anymore. I mean, it's not funny, but this is reality. And I mean, you should see our news.
Well, the kids that parents who send their kids to Temple. I mean, I see it on Facebook. My friends are. People I'm friends with are, the kids are going to Temple, and it's supposed to be, it's a great school, but God damn it, it is not in a great area.
If my child went to Temple, I would have them live on campus the entire time.
I wouldn't let them leave campus.
Right. I mean, it's a really good school, and they have a great communications college, along with other things. They have a great med school.
Yeah, but there's just so much violence around the campus anymore.
It's not in a great neighborhood, and I don't know.
Really? I mean, for fuck's sake.
So anyhow,
Jesus
let's pick a
Christ.
card. Let's pick a card and get your hostility down.
Hostile over this. Could it be any louder?
What is something you actually do want advice about? That sucks. I'm not answering that.
I had to get my fucking neighbors away from me.
We need another question.
I don't know. Okay, we're not going to
answer We should really have gone through and weeded some of the shit ones out.
You're shaking the whole table. You're shaking it. Can you...
Oh, we didn't even talk about it. We had an earthquake.
Speaking of shaking.
We had an earthquake on Friday.
God damn it.
In case you haven't seen the news, New York down to Maryland, I think, felt it.
Well, how about the fucking bridge that fell? Maryland. What the fuck? I mean,
that's because a thing hit it.
Something hit it? Oh, the boat hit it.
It wasn't a boat. It was a ship carrying the freight.
Okay,
boxes.
pardon me. So not a boat, but a ship.
There's a big difference.
Okay.
A cargo ship is what it's called. I couldn't think of it.
I meant.
No. So we had a 4.8. We had a 4.8 earthquake on Friday.
What are you paranoid about? I mean, what am I not paranoid about?
Yeah.
Serial killers coming to get me at night. Fucking Bloodyface coming for me when Joe's not home. Because I watch American Horror Story and Bloodyface is fucking coming for me.
Oh, I saw a commercial with that today. Kim Kardashian's on the new season.
She's in the season. No, it's the current season was split in half. And now we've got to go back and watch it and see every fucking scene. You don't watch it. Those of you that watch it. Okay, look. I have a love-hate relationship with American Horror Story because the first several seasons I loved and I thought they were great. And then it fucking jumped the shark a little bit. Like, I got a little bit too fucking weird. Roanoke sucked. That season might have been what really did it in for me. So...
Roanoke, Virginia?
No, God damn it, a season called Roanoke.
Oh.
So... It comes on every season, and also it usually comes on in the fall, so it's like seasonally, like kind of scary, whatever, for fall, which I appreciate. But then I start watching it, and I get fed up with it because it's so crazy anymore that like I'm like I can't fucking finish watching it. It's fucking dumb. And this one with Kim Kardashian is actually it's a little bit it's interesting. She's fascinating to watch, though, with her fucking giant lips and her giant ass and all the things. She's weird looking.
The commercial I saw, she looks almost like Maleficent. She's got this head thing on down, like, and it comes down. I was like, is she portraying Maleficent?
No, but she is like a, I don't know what they are, like these witchy demon things. I'm not sure. So we have to go back now. We saw that we had a new recording. It was set to record a new episode. So we have to go back and watch it, though. But so the first several seasons were great. But Bloody Face, that one fucked me up. I mean, I would get up in the morning and Joe would leave for work and I was like, I'm going to keep sleeping. And I lay there and I'm like, I get the fuck up. Bloody Face is coming for me now. So I'm paranoid about Bloody Face. I'm paranoid about serial killers. I'm paranoid about mice in the basement.
I am paranoid about, someone breaking into the house. That's what I'm paranoid about.
You got to make sure your second story windows are armed.
I know.
I'm paranoid about getting shot when I'm driving because there's a lot of like road rage and people losing their minds.
A lot of road rage.
Right. So I just let people.
Even in the suburbs, like you don't have to be on a highway for it.
I mean, like 2 miles from here, like last year, whatever, like where the other, not the Y down the street, but the other Y, like on the way to like anyway, like the other Y. There was a shooting.
This is why I want to move out to Idaho. But today in the news...
Yeah. But then Idaho, that crazy fucker killed those girls.
But I was just saying to John...
It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter where the fuck you go.
Idaho...
It's crazy fuckers.
Idaho has some crazy shit going on. They were in the news again today. Some guy had a plot for killing all these... going to these different churches and... Just watch the news. I didn't hear it all. I stopped listening. But he was from Idaho and he was going to do this and it was a big terroristic thing. And I was like, oh my God.
Excuse me. So there were. I had a couple of fucking Christ. I can't with this. So I had a couple of bizarre file news stories. You're gonna see me on the fucking bizarre files news stories one day, and I'm trying to remember them. They're on my phone, so I can't go back and look at them. And the one was, this mom got arrested for letting her 7-year-old walk several miles, I don't know, 6 miles to school or something because the kid missed the bus.
Well, that's a little much.
And so she was like, it's not my problem. So the kid got stuck, right? So she got in trouble, as she should, because it was
How
a little...
old was the child?
6 or 7.
And that's a little much.
Right, no, it was much, right? And then they showed a picture of her, but I couldn't get a good look at it. So I don't know if she had, like, if she was just broken out, or if she had a whole bunch of moles, or if it was like Meth Mouth Mary had, like, the bad, like fucking, like, meth acne thing going on. So there was something happening there. When they went to her house, she was asleep in the middle of the morning with some other kids. So something crazy went. Then there was another mother. Oh, it was another mother story. And so she did some fucked up shit with her kid. Fuck. I don't remember it because, the medication, not remembering things well these days. I did take a screenshot of it so we could, it was very bizarre. It was like bizarre parenting things in the last week.
We should have that be an episode.
There's a lot of them.
An animal episode, bizarre parenting episode.
Do you have any animal antics this time around?
I don't have any animal antics this time.
Other than I've spent a gross amount of time spending you bulldog videos, French and English variety.
It's not an antic, but for those of you, just look it up. I'm not going to get into all the details. It's very polarizing on Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho, especially Wyoming. Some guy. So Yellowstone has wolves. They were reintroduced 25 years ago.
Oh yeah, this is fucked up.
They're thriving. The wolves are thriving.
Animal lovers, you will not like this story.
Yeah,
it's really disturbing.
But no animal knows the boundaries of the park. So it's not like Yellowstone has a big old fence around it so they can't leave. Any animal can't leave. I mean, they can leave. There's no fence.
Are we done with the paranoia part, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, you let us know. What are you paranoid about? How about that? You tell us.
I'm paranoid of having my house broken in and getting like...
I know. No, go back to your story. I was just telling people, if you want to tell us, I'm shaking the table.
So,
sorry. Cards.
Yeah, so they don't know, a lot of animals don't know the boundary. So it's polarizing. It's a polarizing topic between grizzly bears and about grizzly bears and wolves in Yellowstone because they're apex predators and leaving.
People should stay the fuck away from them. It's not fair that they get killed.
No, but it's more about
they attack
it's
somebody.
more about that the landowners or the farmers, you know, a lot of the cattle is free range out there, so the cattle are just roaming, no fence, so anything can get them, the wolves, the bears, whatever, and other sheep, fowl, anything. So
fowl.
Yeah. So it's polarizing because some people are like needing to save and putting these animals, the grizzly and the wolf, back on the endangered list out there. And others are like, no, they're ruining my crops. They're eating my, you know, beef that I'm selling, et cetera, et cetera. So this asshole chased down a Yellowstone wolf with a snowmobile. Chased it down while on his snowmobile. I guess injured it, and this was on purpose. He injured it. Got hold of the wolf then.
Did the wolf do something to one of his animals?
No, he just was out there.
Being an asshole.
But this is the thing. You have like a gray line, and the topic is polarizing, and there's no room for the gray. Like, so this guy then captures the wolf that he has hit with his snowblower. I mean, his
snowblower. Because we got the leaf blower fucking making noise behind us.
His snowmobile. And he doesn't like hurt it, like break a leg or something. I don't know if it knocked him out or what. So he gets hold of the wolf. There are pictures of this. Puts duct tape around the wolf's mouth and then parades him into a downtown area and takes it into a bar so that people can see that he has this animal.
And he didn't get in trouble?
No.
But isn't that like...
He then euthanized the wolf.
I thought that was illegal. On Yellowstone, you're not allowed to kill the wolves.
Well, yeah, but they're still on they're not on the endangered list anymore. So outside of the park,
on Yellowstone, they're getting in trouble.
Yellowstone the show, as opposed to the actual park.
Because they killed the wolves that had the tracking devices on them.
This did not have a tracking device on it. So that's the other thing. Not all the wolves have tracking devices on it. So how can they know where it really came
but they know that he paraded this wolf around, so why did he not get in trouble?
I mean, wolves in general, whether they're from Yellowstone or not, out in at least Wyoming, I understand we're on a protective... there's a law protecting them.
So why is he not in trouble then?
He is. I'm getting to this. Sorry, as I digress.
Yeah.
So he chased it down with a snowmobile, got it, put tape around its muzzle so it wouldn't bark or bite him or whatever, and then took it into a bar, showed it off like a trophy, and the animal's still alive. Then he euthanized the animal supposedly, but he didn't really euthanize it. He did something to it. It was kind of torture. And the only thing this man got by law from the Wyoming Wildlife and Fish Commission was a $250 fine.
That's
Fuck
outrageous.
him. Yeah. Only a $250 fine. There was nothing wrong with this animal.
But if they're endangered, I don't understand why he's not in more trouble.
They didn't, because they're not on the endangered list anymore. They were removed. So that's the polarizing thing. Farmers want to be able to get them off their property, and you know, sometimes that means shooting them, you know. Others...
Well, farmers are probably allowed to, because like here, like you can shoot... Farmers are to shoot deer, like outside of deer season.
There are rules. I'm not going to get into the nitty-picky of that, but there are rules. So if you're a farmer out there are rules that you have to follow. But this guy, certainly, quite evidently, it was not on his farmland. It was not on his land. He, on a snowmobile, saw it, decided to run it down, tape it, and then parade it.
Song in my head. This land is your land. This land is my land.
It's really awful. It's really awful, and I can't believe that that's all that fine was.
Crazy.
I mean, it was in the paper, everything. That's all the fine he got. People are outraged.
It is outrageous.
And this guy doesn't care.
I'm outraged currently with the fucking... I can't.
So I have no animal stories other than that.
108. We're gonna wrap this up. Real quick, speaking of hunting, we tried to watch The Hunger Games last week.
It's an intense... I didn't like it.
You know, and there was a reason why... I didn't really know what it was about. I thought it was like kids fighting to kill each other, which incidentally is exactly what the fuck it's about. So I found it wildly disturbing. So we started it, and they were both like, turn this the fuck off. Like, we couldn't...
It's like futuristic disturbing.
We couldn't do it. And then, of course, we're kind of curious. Okay, well, let's see. Well, obviously she's going to fucking win because there's 2 more movies. I knew there was like a trilogy of them or however many. So she wins... But then I'm like a little curious. If someone could just give me the cliff notes, like I don't really want to watch the next 2 movies. Obviously, she gets put back out there. I'm curious as to why, because she won. So why does she have to do this again? Or does her sister keep getting picked, so she keeps taking her place? Katniss. The names are fucking wild too. Well, anyway, it's so fucking disturbing. If they had been adults, it would have been a little bit different than kids. Like the one little girl that I don't remember her name. That was killed. Oh, the girl was little. She's like an 8-year-old. What the fuck? How is she supposed to be?
It is disturbing.
It was so fucked up. I can't with this.
But it was it's an award-winning book series.
But I don't understand
for
why.
young
I don't
adults.
understand why. I mean, at least if you're gonna have kids kill each other, why can't they all be in the same? Why aren't they all in the same age category? That was my thought. How you have a teenager up against some 8-year-old? She's not gonna fucking win.
Patrick, I mean, it's about survival of the fittest almost.
Yeah, it's like George Christ. Joe was like, it's like, not Planet of the Apes. God damn it. With the kids, with the conch shell and the shit.
Oh, Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies.
Love Lord of the Flies. Mrs. Gentry, thank you for teaching that book because I loved
So
Lord
it
of
is
the Flies.
a little bit like Lord of the Flies. I mean, it's only they're forced to have to do this. It's fucking weird.
Life is Lord of the Flies.
But I'm gonna have to. I need like the cliff note to like find out.
So real quick, I don't know because I only saw the first movie. Patrick read the first book, half of the second, said he was done. This is like in fourth grade.
I can't get into it.
We took
fourth grade.
Yeah, we took Patrick to the
movies. For the love of Christ, to
see Hunger Games with his friend Billy. And we left that movie theater, and I was like, that was an intense movie, and I was feeling it. I'm like, so what'd you guys think? And Patrick's like, oh, I don't, it's okay. And Billy's like, it was intense. I'm like, that is one word for it.
Well, also, like, so the kids have to kill each other, but then they're, like, interfering. Like, the adults that are running this program are interfering with the whole process. Let the fucking kids do what they're going to do.
But like, it's very futuristic. It's obviously, so it's not something happening.
I can't.
But you know what a good thing was? Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah, I mean, there was that. There was definitely
and then the dude with the funky hair from Yellowstone is in it. He had the
and that's what kind of also made me think of it, Jamie.
Yeah, from
and it was weird because, like, in two different things now, he's, like, spoken to disparagingly by an older man that's like a father figure to him. I mean, it's like
maybe
the same role. I don't know.
Wait, Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth Banks is.
She's in a fucking commercial right now, and I'm looking at her like last night. I'm like, she looks. And Joe's like, yeah, it's Elizabeth Banks. Okay, anyway,
Elizabeth Banks went to Penn.
Oh, there you go.
Elizabeth Banks.
Okay, so it's a minute 11. We gotta wrap this fucker up. But so people have asked about doing 2 episodes a week, which I would probably be on board with because we probably even have to talk about. But your schedule is worse than mine. I mean, and I'm about to start PT in a little while, 3 days a week. So I don't know, like, how.
We might have to wait till the fall.
I mean, with summer coming too, we're not gonna have time. Yeah. So it's something that would be fun to do for sure, and we'd like to do it. But it's just a matter.
But we want to hear from more people. Like, we hear from people, but we want to hear from more of our viewers.
I mean, we get great feedback.
Yeah, but we need to hear from you.
I don't know. I think people are shy.
Or if there are topics. Just DM us.
Topics.
If there are topics that you think we should discuss, like packing your own groceries at the grocery store. People are pissed off about that.
I like to pack my own groceries. Keep the cold with the cold, the dry goods with the dry goods.
You know.
Disperse the heavy stuff. It's not all. Anyway.
Anything.
Okay. So we look. I still have my bruise. Can you see it? Can you see it's like yellowish and greenish?
Ew.
3 weeks later.
Wow.
Almost 3 weeks later. You can see it.
Yeah, right there.
It's hard to see from there, but you can see it.
I like that leaf blower.
My abdomen. My abdomen is also all black and blue because while I was in the hospital, they were giving me shots of heparin against blood thinner, and they would take turns putting it in my abdomen, right side, left side, and I had these huge green patches like all over my abdomen from the shots. So
you're walking much straighter though.
I look fucking thinner too. I'm walking.
And
I'm leaning forward for this.
What's the pain threshold?
Depends on the day, and as Joe has reminded me, and Amanda, the surgeon's assistant who I spoke to yesterday, reminded me just take the fucking painkillers. I'm trying to wean off, like, so I can drive and stuff, but I'm also building up, I think, a little bit of a tolerance to them because I take the 5 milligram and like I don't even feel it. I mean, it helps with the pain a little bit, but I don't feel like
so
high.
So now you know how people get addicted to it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make me high like. Woo-hoo! I mean, like, if I want to get high, I'd rather just get drunk, really, if I want to, like, really feel good. But it does take away the pain, which is what it's supposed to do. But I take Tylenol also. I take a lot of fucking Tylenol. So,
there was a study saying Tylenol's not good for you.
I know it's not good for you.
No, but it just was on the news.
It's not good for you. My friend's husband is a pharmacist and told me once, it's like the worst fucking thing you could ever take. Like, it's bad for you, don't take it. Especially you cannot drink when you're taking it.
But what do you take instead if you can't take Advil because Advil thins your blood? Like, after you have surgery?
I'm taking... Right, so that's why I could not take ibuprofen because it thins your blood. But then also, the Tylenol goes best with
the codeine.
The oxy. So, but I only took like 10 milligrams all day yesterday, and so if I'm down to like 2 a day with morning and night, 5 milligrams each time. So I'm okay with that. And then during the day, it is what it is. So I had to go back to PT last week. I got a hip massage the one day. And then I had burning down my leg. So the sciatica pain that I had before is gone. That like pain where like I'm being like like bludgeoned with a knife. That pain is gone, but now it burns the whole way down my leg. So it's a nice.
Do you have feeling back in your feet?
My right foot is more numb than it used to be. They said it's calm. I mean, I was expecting it was in the write-up that I got. So the numbness I had before was worse, and I have new numbness. But the burning sensation down my left leg, it follows the path of the sciatica, so I knew it was the sciatica. So I was able to start. I got needling done on Friday, which was a fucking lifesaver because
wasn't the pain before. Like, you didn't have a sciatica problem before, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
That was what fucking was debilitating from January to December to March.
Got it.
But then it was like it was a different pain. So that pain's gone. It's a new sciatica pain because the sciatica's like waking back up because
it's going, what the fuck?
It's unleashed from the fucking discs. And, so now we're gonna wrap this up and these fuckers are done. Like, my ears are ringing. Fucking shit. Okay. On that note,
we'll see you next week for 23.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a great week, and we'll be back next week. Take care. Bye bye.
See ya.